There comes a moment in every life when you must decide whether you will speak from your circumstances or speak from your destiny. Wealth does not appear because you hope for it. Wealth appears because you call it, claim it, and give it permission to enter your experience. The words you release are not empty sounds. They are spiritual commands shaping the path before you. Every sentence you speak carries power, every declaration carries weight, and every phrase you choose becomes the architect of your tomorrow. If your words have been shaped by fear, then fear becomes your companion. If your words echo limitation, then limitation becomes your story. But the moment, yes, the very moment, you shift your speech, you shift your life. When you choose to speak wealth, when you dare to open your mouth and proclaim abundance, opportunity, and divine supply, something begins to move in the unseen. Forces rearrange themselves, doors start to unlock, and paths you didn't even know existed begin to open. The words you speak shape the conditions you live in because every spoken phrase is a seed cast into the soil of your reality. Whether you realize it or not, your voice holds creative authority. Life listens to the tone, the belief, and the intention behind what you say. When you speak of lack, struggle, or limitation, you are not merely describing your circumstances. You are reinforcing them. Your words become commands that instruct your mind, your actions, and the environment around you to align with what you have spoken. It is impossible to rise higher than the language you use on a daily basis. The moment you begin to understand that speech is not casual but creative, everything changes. You begin to notice the patterns in your conversations, the phrases you use without thinking, the sentences that leak doubt or fear. You realize that every word is either building your future or binding it. When you declare abundance, opportunity, and wealth with conviction, you are opening a pathway for those very things to manifest. You are shifting the atmosphere around your life. You are aligning your inner world with what you desire to experience in the outer world. Words carry energy. They vibrate with intention. They form beliefs, and beliefs form outcomes. If you repeatedly say, "Money never stays with me," then your mind will accept that statement as truth and behave accordingly. You will make decisions, attract situations, and react to opportunities in ways that confirm your own spoken limitations. But if you begin to say, "Everything I touch prospers," your mind shifts to support that possibility. You start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You respond with confidence instead of hesitation. You attract people and situations that match the energy of your words. Your speech shapes your expectations, and your expectations shape your experience. Wealth does not gravitate toward those who speak against themselves or diminish their value. It flows to those who speak with certainty, who use their words to claim possibility rather than restrict it. Life mirrors the language you choose. If your words are filled with doubt, life echoes that doubt. If your words are filled with faith, life echoes that faith. Speaking wealth into existence begins with recognizing the authority behind your voice. You have the ability to call in success, to declare abundance, and to command prosperity to manifest in ways beyond your current understanding. Every time you speak with intention, you plant a seed that must eventually rise into form. Your words are creative tools. Use them to build the wealth, the freedom, and the life you desire. Wealth begins in the invisible realm long before it appears in the physical world, because every form of abundance starts as an idea, a belief, a vision held in the quiet chambers of the mind. Nothing materializes outwardly until it is first formed inwardly. Your thoughts generate an inner blueprint, and your words activate that blueprint into motion. When you speak wealth, you are not pretending or imagining something out of reach. You are acknowledging what already exists for you in the unseen. There is a divine supply assigned to every individual. a reservoir of opportunities, ideas, and resources waiting for alignment. This alignment is created through the harmony of thought and speech. As you speak wealth, you give shape to the unseen energy of abundance and draw it closer into your lived experience. Everything in your life is a reflection of what you have repeatedly affirmed or denied. When you focus on lack or constantly talk about what you do not have, you strengthen the invisible barriers that block abundance from entering. But when you shift your speech toward possibility, prosperity, and growth, you open the gates for those unseen blessings to move into form. The invisible realm responds to your voice like clay responds to the hand of the sculptor. Your words mold the energy around you, shaping it into circumstances, connections, and opportunities that match your declarations. This is why speaking wealth is not just a positive habit. It is a spiritual mechanism that activates the flow of abundance. The invisible is always working on your behalf, rearranging situations, guiding people into your path, and preparing the answers you need. But it responds most powerfully when your words match your desires. It is not enough to think quietly about success while speaking loudly about hardship. Your speech must become a bridge between your inner belief and your outer reality. When you speak wealth, you stabilize your vibration. You signal to the universe that you are ready to receive, ready to align, ready to participate in the manifestation of your own destiny. This readiness draws abundance out of the unseen and into clear, tangible form. Even when your reality seems unchanged, your words are already creating shifts behind the scenes. Just as a seed grows unseen beneath the soil before breaking through the surface, your spoken affirmations are building momentum in the invisible world long before they appear in your physical experience. This is why consistency is so essential. Every declaration builds upon the last. Every affirmation strengthens the pattern. You are programming your future with every word you choose. Speak wealth with conviction, for the invisible is listening, responding, and preparing to reveal the abundance that has always belonged to you. You can rewrite your entire financial story the moment you choose to speak deliberately, intentionally, and with purpose. Your past does not have the authority to define what your future must become, unless you empower it through your words. Many people live trapped in the shadows of old beliefs, things they heard in childhood, failures they experienced, fears they absorbed from others. These unexamined beliefs become silent scripts playing in the background of their lives, shaping their habits, decisions, and expectations. But nothing in your past is strong enough to hold you if you decide to speak differently. Speech is a tool of transformation, and every declaration you make has the power to overwrite years of limitation. When you speak abundance, you begin dismantling the old inner architecture built on scarcity and replacing it with a foundation capable of sustaining wealth. Your words are not merely affirmations, they are commands. They instruct your mind on how to behave, what to believe, and where to focus. When you declare, "I am open to wealth," you give your subconscious a new assignment. When you say, "My life overflows with opportunities," you are telling your inner world to search for doors instead of walls. Over time, the consistent use of empowered language rewires your patterns. You start making decisions aligned with abundance because your words have taught you to expect it. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw obstacles, all because you changed the script you speak from. Even deeply rooted financial struggles, poverty, debt, scarcity mindsets begin to lose their grip when confronted with persistent, faith-filled declarations. The past may echo loudly at first, reminding you of mistakes, losses, or disappointments, but your words can silence that echo. Every time you affirm wealth instead of limitation, you weaken the old story. Every time you speak of opportunities rather than setbacks, you elevate your vibration. Eventually, the old beliefs crumble because they no longer have your agreement. You are writing a new narrative, one spoken into existence through confidence and conviction. It doesn't matter what you've inherited, what you've been told, or what you've experienced. Your words can break generational patterns, dissolve fear-based thinking, and lift you into a higher realm of possibility. You are not bound to repeat the stories of those who came before you. You are not destined to relive the limitations of your past. The moment you choose to speak differently is the moment you choose to live differently. Through deliberate declaration, you reshape your financial identity, and when identity shifts, reality follows. Your voice becomes the pen that writes your future. Your words become the bridge that carries you from who you were into who you are becoming. When you speak wealth with intention, you are rewriting your entire financial destiny, one sentence at a time. Fearful words block prosperity because they create a wall between you and the flow of abundance that is meant for you. Fear restricts, contracts, and closes the door to possibilities, while faith expands, opens, and invites blessings in. Every time you speak words of worry, doubt, or impossibility, you reinforce the belief that wealth is out of reach or difficult to attain. Your speech becomes a shield that reflects abundance away instead of drawing it toward you. Fear-based language creates an atmosphere of limitation, and the universe responds by giving you more of what you are affirming. When you repeatedly say things like "I can't afford this," "money is always a struggle," or "nothing ever works out for me," you are declaring a reality you do not want, yet one that your words continuously recreate. Faith-filled words, on the other hand, carry a different vibration. They open channels, invite opportunities, and make you receptive to blessings. Faith does not deny challenges, but it speaks with the confidence that solutions already exist. When you declare, "I am guided to prosperity," or "everything I need is making its way to me," you align yourself with abundance even if your current circumstances look uncertain. Faith-filled speech strengthens your inner world, giving you the courage to move forward, take action, and expect good outcomes. It clears away mental clutter and creates space for inspiration, ideas, and favor to reach you. Instead of shrinking under pressure, you rise because your words have built a foundation strong enough to support your growth. Fearful words activate the part of your mind that anticipates loss, risk, and danger. This causes hesitation, which leads to missed opportunities. But words spoken in faith activate clarity, creativity, and confidence. You begin to see options you couldn't see before, simply because your speech has opened those pathways. Fear says, "It's not possible," while faith says, "Something greater is working on my behalf." The difference between the two is the difference between a life of struggle and a life of abundance. Circumstances may tempt you to speak in fear, especially when money feels tight or when uncertainty arises. But the moment you fall into fear-based language, you reinforce the very conditions you wish to escape. Prosperity does not require perfect circumstances. It requires consistent, faith-driven speech. The more you speak with confidence, the more your environment shifts to reflect that confidence. Fear closes doors that were meant for you. Faith opens them wide. By choosing your words wisely, you choose your future. When you speak with faith, you give wealth permission to flow into your life. When you refuse to give fear a voice, you remove the barriers standing between you and the abundance destined for you. Wealth responds to bold, confident claims because confidence is a declaration of identity, not just desire. When you speak with authority, you signal to life that you are prepared to receive, prepared to rise, and prepared to embody the abundance you are calling forth. Whispered wishes carry little power, but bold declarations ignite movement in the unseen and reshape the energy around you. When you speak timidly about your goals, you are announcing uncertainty, and uncertainty weakens your connection to the prosperity you long for. But when you stand firm in your words, when you say, "Wealth is my birthright, I expect abundance," or "Prosperity flows to me now," you activate a force within yourself that attracts circumstances aligned with your confidence. Bold words do not come from arrogance, they come from alignment. They reflect a deep inner knowing that you were not created for lack or struggle, but for expansion and overflow. When you declare your wealth boldly, you are not demanding from life, you are agreeing with the abundance already assigned to your destiny. Confidence is the bridge that connects your spoken word to material manifestation. Life mirrors the tone of your voice. If you speak like someone who doubts their worth, you invite experiences that validate that doubt. But when you speak like someone who is certain of their value, opportunities begin to seek you out. Bold speech transforms your mindset. It reconditions your subconscious to believe in your capability, your power, and your right to prosper. When you speak with conviction, your mind rises to meet your words, and you begin acting in alignment with the identity you are declaring. You take risks you once avoided, you step into spaces you once felt unworthy of, and you make decisions that propel you forward. Confidence in speech creates confidence in action, and action is where wealth manifests. When you claim prosperity boldly, you dissolve the limitations that have held you back. Hesitation loses its influence. You stop asking for permission to succeed and start walking as someone who already belongs in the realm of abundance. You become magnetic. People notice your certainty. Opportunities open because you speak as someone who expects them. Even challenges lose their power over you because bold speech builds resilience. You speak solutions, not problems. You declare progress, not defeat. You vocalize expansion, not contraction. Bold declarations send a message to the universe: I am ready, and readiness is the key to manifestation. Wealth responds to those who speak with the authority of someone who understands the creative power of their voice. Confident words carve a path where there was none. They break through barriers that once seemed immovable. They reshape your environment to match the energy of your belief. When you speak boldly, you do more than call wealth. You command it, and wealth responds. Gratitude. Focused speech activates greater supply because gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can release into the world. When you speak words of thankfulness, your entire energy shifts from wanting to receiving, from needing to having, from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude is not only an emotion, it is a spiritual force that multiplies whatever it touches. When you say, "I am grateful for the wealth flowing into my life," even before you see it fully, you open the door for that wealth to accelerate its arrival. Gratitude tells the universe that you are ready, receptive, and aligned with abundance. It signals that you trust the process, trust the timing, and trust that more is on the way. Every time you speak from a grateful heart, you amplify your ability to attract. Gratitude creates expansion. It stretches your capacity to receive. You cannot complain and receive more at the same time because complaint closes the channel. But gratitude widens it. When you appreciate even the smallest financial blessing, you create momentum for greater blessings. When you say, "I am thankful that money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways," you activate opportunities you may not have noticed before. You tune your mind to look for possibilities instead of limitations. Gratitude is a magnet. It draws abundance closer with every thankful word. Your subconscious mind is profoundly shaped by gratitude. When you practice grateful speech, you train your inner world to focus on what is working rather than what is lacking. This shift in focus creates new patterns of thinking, which lead to new decisions, which generate new outcomes. Gratitude unlocks creative ideas, financial insight. and intuitive guidance that you could not access while speaking from frustration or fear. It sharpens your perception and helps you recognize doors that were always open but previously overlooked. The more you speak gratitude, the more you elevate your emotional state, and your emotional state is a key component of manifestation. Abundance flows easily to a joyful, thankful heart. Gratitude makes you magnetic to wealth because it radiates certainty and contentment, two powerful signals that tell the universe you are aligned with abundance rather than chasing it. Instead of speaking about what you lack, you speak about what is coming. Instead of focusing on delays, you focus on divine timing. Even in moments of uncertainty, choosing gratitude keeps you connected to abundance. Saying, "I am grateful for the blessings unfolding right now," allows unseen forces to work on your behalf. Gratitude transforms waiting into preparation. It turns challenges into stepping stones. It turns goals into manifestations. When you speak gratitude consistently, you create a vibration that wealth cannot resist. You make your life a fertile ground for prosperity. And with every grateful word, you multiply the supply moving toward you. Speaking wealth programs your subconscious for success because your subconscious mind is the silent engine driving your life. It absorbs every word you speak, every belief you reinforce, and every declaration you repeat. Unlike your conscious mind, which doubts, questions, analyzes, and worries, your subconscious simply accepts what you tell it as truth. It does not argue, it does not filter, it obeys. When you speak wealth with conviction, you are feeding your subconscious a new identity, a new pattern, a new set of instructions. Over time, these spoken words become beliefs, and beliefs become behaviors. Your subconscious begins to guide your actions, decisions, and responses toward the reality you are declaring. Most people unknowingly program their subconscious with lack. They say things like, "I never have enough money," "I'm always struggling," or "wealth isn't for people like me." These statements sink into the subconscious and become the blueprint it follows. The subconscious then works tirelessly to make those statements true because its purpose is to align your outer world with your inner beliefs. But when you flip the script, when you begin speaking wealth intentionally, you rewrite the blueprint. You give your subconscious new orders to recognize opportunity, to expect abundance, to generate confidence, to seek solutions instead of problems. Speaking wealth repeatedly builds a mental foundation of prosperity. Your subconscious begins filtering the world differently. You start noticing financial opportunities you once ignored. You make choices aligned with growth instead of fear. You take actions that move you forward instead of holding you back. You begin to think creatively about success rather than defensively about survival. Speaking wealth turns your subconscious into your ally rather than your obstacle. The subconscious mind also controls your emotional responses, and emotions play a powerful role in manifestation. When your subconscious is programmed for wealth, feelings such as confidence, security, and optimism rise naturally. These emotions are magnets for abundance because they align you with the vibration of prosperity. You walk differently, think differently, and speak differently because your inner world has changed. You no longer chase wealth with desperation. You attract it with certainty. Speaking wealth strengthens your self-worth. As your subconscious absorbs your declarations, you begin to see yourself as someone who deserves success. You shed the old identity built on fear and scarcity. You adopt a new identity built on abundance and possibility. And when your identity shifts, your entire life follows. Every time you declare, "I am wealthy," money flows to me with ease, or "I am aligned with abundance." You plant seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious. With repetition, those seeds grow into habits, mindsets, and behaviors that create real-world prosperity. The subconscious is powerful, and your words are the key that programs it. Speak wealth consistently, and your inner world will shape your outer world into a life of abundance. Every spoken word is either an investment or a withdrawal, because the language you use constantly shapes the trajectory of your life. Every sentence you utter, whether consciously or unconsciously, carries energy that affects your circumstances, your mindset, and your future. When you speak words of faith, abundance, and possibility, you are making an investment into your personal growth, your financial prosperity, and your overall well-being. Each declaration of positivity, each affirmation of wealth, each expression of gratitude adds value to the unseen accounts of your life. These words build momentum, strengthen belief, and align your actions with the outcomes you desire. In essence, you are depositing seeds of prosperity that will eventually grow into tangible results. On the other hand, careless, negative, or fearful speech acts as a withdrawal from your potential. Complaints, doubts, and statements of limitation drain energy, reduce confidence, and reinforce scarcity. When you say, "I can't do this," "I'm not good enough," or "there's never enough for me," you are drawing from the reservoir of possibility, leaving less space for abundance to manifest. Your subconscious records these withdrawals and begins to operate under the assumption that your limitations are true. Repeated withdrawals create patterns of self-sabotage, attracting circumstances and outcomes that mirror the lack embedded in your words. Every negative statement chips away at the life you could have had, reinforcing the barriers that keep prosperity at a distance. Understanding that each word is a deliberate act of investment or withdrawal empowers you to speak with intention. You begin to choose your phrases carefully, knowing that positive, faith-filled speech strengthens your future while negative speech diminishes it. Speaking wealth, declaring opportunities, and affirming your ability to succeed are investments that compound over time, producing exponential results. Your voice becomes a tool for creation, capable of drawing favorable circumstances, inspiring others, and reinforcing your inner conviction. Each affirmative statement deposits energy into your life's account, increasing your capacity to receive, grow, and thrive. Consistent investment through speech cultivates resilience, focus, and alignment. The words you choose determine how your subconscious perceives possibilities and how your actions unfold. Positive declarations do more than motivate. They set the framework for tangible outcomes by training your mind to recognize opportunities and act decisively. Over time, these spoken investments create a life characterized by abundance, joy, and success. Every time you speak intentionally, you are either building the life you desire or reinforcing the life you wish to leave behind. Your words carry weight, and with conscious, deliberate speech, you can ensure that every word deposits prosperity rather than depletes it, creating a trajectory of continuous growth and fulfillment. Wealth finds those who speak from identity, not desire, because the universe responds to who you are rather than what you want. Speaking from desire places you in a state of need, a vibration of seeking, which often attracts delay, frustration, and scarcity. Desire implies lack. It says, "I don't have it yet, but I hope to get it." Identity, on the other hand, communicates certainty, authority, and alignment. When you speak as someone who already embodies wealth, you are operating from a higher vibration, one that commands life to match the reality of your declaration. Your words are no longer prayers for hope, but statements of fact that the unseen realm must obey. This is the subtle yet powerful difference between those who struggle to manifest and those who effortlessly attract abundance. When you claim wealth from the standpoint of identity, you are declaring, "I am a person of prosperity. I already live in alignment with abundance." Your words are supported by belief, not wishful thinking. The subconscious does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It responds to the authority and consistency of your speech. By speaking as if your wealth already exists, you reprogram your inner mind to act, think, and perceive opportunities that match that identity. You begin making decisions from a place of abundance, not from a place of fear or lack. Opportunities, resources, and connections that once seemed distant now appear naturally in your path, because your inner world has aligned with the outer world. This principle requires more than casual affirmations. It demands consistency and conviction. Speaking from identity means you declare your prosperity in every situation, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. You do not wait until you feel wealthy or until your bank account confirms it. Instead, you embody the energy, mindset, and language of someone who has already achieved the wealth you desire. Your speech reflects certainty, your actions reflect confidence, and your life begins to mirror the identity you have consistently spoken into existence. When you operate from identity, you attract others who resonate with your frequency. People, opportunities, and resources are drawn to the certainty of your words. Your environment shifts to support the reality you are claiming, because the energy you project is unmistakable. Hesitation, doubt, and uncertainty no longer hold sway over you, because your spoken identity overrides them. Wealth is not a distant goal. It is a natural consequence of the person you are becoming through your deliberate declarations. When you speak from identity, the universe recognizes your authority and responds with the abundance, success, and prosperity that have always been within your reach. Your words are the blueprint, and your identity is the foundation on which your wealth is built. Wealth manifestation requires persistence and vocal consistency, because the process of bringing abundance from the invisible realm into tangible reality is not instantaneous. It is cumulative. Every word you speak, every declaration you make, adds energy to your intentions, building momentum until it must express itself in the physical world. One single affirmation may spark hope, but repeated, consistent, and unwavering declarations create a force that cannot be ignored. The universe responds to persistence, to voices that refuse to be silenced by circumstance, doubt, or delay. Your repeated words signal commitment, expectation, and certainty, and these signals align every unseen factor to deliver the wealth you have claimed. Consistency in speech programs your subconscious to align fully with abundance. The subconscious does not differentiate between reality and repeated statements. It simply accepts what you reinforce. When you declare wealth once, your conscious mind hears it, but the subconscious may still cling to old beliefs and limitations. When you declare it daily, with faith and conviction, the subconscious gradually rewires itself, forming new habits, responses, and perspectives that support the life of abundance you are creating. Over time, this repetition transforms thinking patterns, decision-making, and emotional responses, aligning them with the vibration of wealth. What was once imagined becomes expected, and what was hoped for becomes inevitable. Persistence also trains your emotional state, which is critical for manifestation. Wealth is attracted to vibration, and emotions are the carriers of that vibration. By speaking consistently about prosperity, you cultivate feelings of confidence, joy, and expectancy. These emotions magnetize opportunities, open doors, and attract supportive people and circumstances. Even when challenges arise or your current reality appears stagnant, persistence in vocalizing wealth maintains the energy of abundance. It prevents doubt from gaining a foothold and ensures that your frequency remains aligned with the outcome you desire. Vocal consistency also reinforces your identity as a person of abundance. When your words are repeated over time, you are no longer merely hoping or wishing. You are becoming someone whose very being embodies wealth. Your speech acts as both instruction and affirmation, guiding your actions and shaping your mindset. Each repeated declaration strengthens your inner alignment, making it easier to recognize opportunities, act decisively, and respond to life from a position of abundance rather than fear. Manifestation is a process that rewards dedication. Wealth flows to those who persistently affirm it, who continue to speak it boldly and faithfully, even when circumstances appear unchanged. Every declaration compounds with the last, building an unstoppable momentum until the unseen forces manifest the reality you have spoken into being. Persistence and vocal consistency are the keys that transform spoken intention into tangible prosperity, creating a life in which abundance is not an aspiration, but a living reality. In conclusion, the power to create wealth lies not in chance, circumstance, or waiting for the right moment, but in the words you speak, the beliefs you hold, and the identity you claim. When you consistently declare abundance, speak with faith, and align your thoughts with prosperity, you set in motion the unseen forces that bring your desires into reality. Wealth flows to those who act, think, and speak as though it already belongs to them, who refuse fear and hesitation, and who persist with unwavering consistency. Your words are not mere sounds, they are commands, seeds, and blueprints for the life you are destined to live. Speak boldly, speak with conviction, and speak with gratitude, for the moment you do, wealth ceases to be a distant dream and becomes the natural reflection of the powerful, abundant life you are creating.